Let's start with the first thing you shouldn't say to your child, or anyone for that matter: you're so lazy. When someone tags you as lazy, it can negatively affect your self-esteem and motivation. It would be more helpful if we try to understand why you might be reluctant to take on tasks, instead of hastily attributing this to laziness. You might be feeling confused about the task, unsure of how to proceed, or even questioning your own abilities. Or it could be that you just need a gentle push, a small incentive, or some encouraging words to get started. Not wanting to start a task is usually not a sign of laziness, but rather it could be a reflection of complex emotions and struggles. It's beneficial to ask, what's making it hard for you to start? This opens up a conversation and creates a safe space for you to voice worries. It not only makes you feel recognized and listened to, but also lends the necessary support, aiding you to overcome your hurdles. Number 2, why can't you be more like your sibling? The pangs of being compared to a sibling can often make a child feel they're falling short, that they're not quite good enough. But it's essential to bear this in mind. Each person is distinct and special in their very own way. We have a tendency to pit siblings against each other, comparing their weaknesses and strengths. We might forget to appreciate the unique qualities of each child. This might not be a universal practice, but it happens often enough to indicate a societal tendency. Instead of appreciating a child for their individuality, we might end up contrasting them with their siblings, questioning why they aren't more alike. But it's not about brushing aside weaknesses or overlooking flaws. It's about striking a balance between recognizing areas needing improvement and lauding the qualities that make each child distinct. It's about seeing each child as a unique piece of art, boasting of capabilities that are purely their own. Every child comes with a one-of-a-kind mix of talents, abilities, and strengths. They are not just brothers and sisters, but also future architects, the trailblazers of the next era. Their strengths, combined with their individuality, are meant to be celebrated, not merely recognized. They warrant our admiration and our applause, our love, and our unwavering support. So always remember, no matter who you're compared to, you are unique and should be celebrated for who you are. Let's make an effort to recognize, value, and celebrate each child's strengths, talents, and individuality. By doing so, we can foster a generation of self-assured, tough, and motivated individuals. Number 3, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. Telling someone, especially a child, to stop crying can inadvertently result in them hiding their true feelings. This phrase, often repeated without a second thought, could encourage children to suppress their genuine emotions instead of expressing them. Rather than deferring their emotional expression, it becomes our responsibility to engage them in a conversation about their feelings. By choosing to do so, we are fostering a safe environment where they can express their emotions without fear of judgment or criticism. This aids in narrowing down the distance between us and the younger ones, reinforcing our bond and making our relationships more meaningful. Instead of silencing their tears, pose questions such as, "What's making you sad?" or "Is there something you want to share?" Simple inquiries like these are capable of initiating a dialogue between you and the child. Such conversations not only assist children in navigating their own emotions, but also contribute to the development of their emotional intelligence. When we genuinely interact with them, we are validating their feelings and emphasizing their importance. This slight shift in communication can make a huge impact on their emotional and social growth. In summary, instead of disregarding their feelings, engage them in conversation. It's as easy as asking, "What's making you sad?" This cultivates open communication and emotional intelligence. This strategy not only benefits them in the present, but also prepares them for future social interactions and relationships. It's a simple yet powerful method of fostering emotional intelligence in children. Number 4, saying "you always" or "you never" can inflict pain. It's essential to grasp this concept as it stands as a crucial element in successful communication, specifically in the context of raising a child. These young individuals are in the phase of comprehending the world around them, their deeds, and the outcomes they bring about. Hence, our communication style with them largely influences their understanding and conduct. Consider a scenario where a child overlooks a chore or a task. Our instinctive reaction might be to say something like, "You always forget." But is it appropriate to tag them this way? Clearly not. Such remarks can leave a profound impact on their psyche, igniting a sense of defeat within them. They might start thinking that they are forgetful, a perception that can harm their self-confidence. Rather, we should concentrate on the particular event and not the general tendency. Instead of saying, "You always forget," we could say, "I noticed you forgot today." This method addresses the behavior linked to that specific occurrence and not the child in entirety. It assures the child that the feedback is about their action, not their persona. By adopting this approach, we are being just and factual. We are zeroing in on the conduct that can be rectified and enhanced over time, instead of labeling the child, which can have adverse effects. We are motivating them to learn and evolve from their mistakes, rather than feel disheartened and let down. In this manner, we are fostering a healthy and positive attitude that aids the child's effective development and maturation. Bear in mind, statements like "you always" or "you never" can hurt. A minor adjustment in our communication can bring about a significant change. Instead of "you always forget," choose to say, "I noticed you forgot today." This talks about what happened, not who they are. Number 5. The utterance, "because I said so," can potentially halt your quest for answers. This statement is frequently used by adults, usually in an attempt to put a stop to a series of incessant why questions from a child. But this assertion, with its straightforwardness and assumed unquestionable authority, could potentially suppress the natural inquisitiveness that every child is born with. Instead of dismissing inquisitive minds with a trivial "because I said so," it's more beneficial to explain the logic behind our decisions. Even though this method might need a bit more patience, it creates an environment where children feel they are being listened to and understood. Rather than issuing an order like "don't run indoors," offer rationale such as, "We abstain from running indoors to prevent possible accidents." This response not only answers their query, but also informs them of the reason for the existence of that particular rule. It brings to light the potential fallout of their actions, prompting them to reconsider before repeating the same. This approach of illuminating instead of commanding helps in nurturing an environment of mutual understanding, respect, and eventual adherence to the rules. This strategy encourages understanding and respect for rules. Number 6. Saying someone is selfish can be painful. Instead, we could try expressing it in another way, such as, "I noticed that you really like this toy, but do consider how your friend might feel if he doesn't get to play with it." This helps us comprehend the feelings of others. The primary aim is to develop empathy, so we understand that our actions can affect the feelings of those around us. Try to put yourself in your friend's shoes. How would you feel if you were him and didn't get a chance to play with the toy? It's all about demonstrating the importance of being mindful of others' emotions. Sometimes our focus shouldn't be solely on what we desire, but also on the needs of others. It teaches them that their wants are not the only important ones. Maybe a good solution could be sharing the toy with your friend. There's something inherently beautiful about sharing. It not only brings happiness to the recipient, but also to the person who shares. Working together, you can figure out the best way to enjoy your playtime. Perhaps you can take turns playing with the toy, or maybe you can play jointly. The options are limitless, you just need to explore them. Efforts to reach a mutual agreement can be gratifying. It not only resolves the immediate issue, but also paves the way for stronger bonds. This approach promotes empathy without inducing guilt. Number 7. Telling a child not to be sensitive can potentially make them feel insignificant. This underestimates the depth and validity of their emotional experience, which is a crucial aspect of their growth and development. As grown-ups, we might overlook the intensity of the emotions we felt as kids, but it's crucial that we avoid such dismissals. Rather, it's preferable to say, "I understand you're upset." It's our role to establish a supportive space that encourages emotional validation, a place where children can comfortably express their feelings without apprehension of being judged or ignored. Indeed, emotional validation goes beyond simply recognizing their feelings. It also requires active listening, empathetic responses, and considerate feedback. A child's emotional world is broad, varied, and frequently misunderstood. By opening a platform for them to articulate and delve into their emotions, we guide them through this intricate terrain. A straightforward acknowledgement like, "I understand you're upset," can create a significant difference. It signifies that we acknowledge their feelings and are prepared to back them up. This way, it not only encourages healthy dialogue, but also deepens our comprehension of their distinct emotional world. The effect of such a conversation is far-reaching, influencing not only their current state of mind, but also their future emotional intelligence. This can truly make a big difference. And finally, number 8, I do everything for you, and this is the thanks I get. Making others feel guilty isn't a healthy approach. It's a widely accepted fact. Numerous instances show people turning to guilt as a means of conveying their feelings, leading to a hostile atmosphere and relationships. This can cultivate bitterness, encourage miscommunication, and in the end, drive people away rather than uniting them. Consider this as an option. Choose a different route, a better way to communicate and express your emotions. Instead of saying, "I do everything for you and this is the thanks I get," say, "I sometimes feel unappreciated." These words have power. They reflect your feelings without laying the blame on someone else. It's a representation of your feelings, your reality, and not a blame game or an assault. Then add the statement, "I crave more gratitude." This isn't an order, but a polite request. It gently signifies your desire for validation, for gratitude, without seeming too assertive or intrusive. This method, this manner of voicing your feelings, is far more suitable for healthy, fruitful discussions. It creates an environment where everyone feels secure and comfortable discussing their feelings. It's not about attributing blame or guilt, but about understanding and empathy. By using phrases like these, you are encouraging open, truthful communication devoid of guilt's weight and baggage. This is an improved, healthier way to conduct conversations and express your feelings. This method encourages guilt-free, open conversation. It's important to listen, absorb the nuances, the unspoken words. It's a practice that requires your absolute focus. Patience is not just a virtue in this exercise, but a necessity, an integral part of this lifestyle. Each moment is a building block, each difficulty a stepping stone towards growth. Remember, patience is more than a state of mind. Next, it's important to practice empathy. Imagine yourself in the place of another person, to experience their hardships, their elation, their path. Empathy is not just feeling the same emotions, but understanding their viewpoints, their sentiments, and their narratives. It's a powerful tool that fosters unity, brings about transformation, and draws us closer to our shared humanity. Lastly, it's all about progression. The aim should not be to achieve perfection, but to advance, one small step at a time, one day at a time. It's the minor triumphs that make the most significant impact, the lessons from each fall, the celebration of each victory. It's about acknowledging our continuous growth and evolution. In conclusion, the importance is in listening, patience, and understanding, not striving for unattainable perfection. Now it's your turn. We invite you to share your stories, advice, or those teaching moments that had a significant impact. Remember, each comment you make not only adds to your own understanding but also helps others. Each of us, be it a parent, a teacher, or even a student, has a distinctive viewpoint and unique realizations that, when shared, can serve as a guiding light for those in search. As you pen your experiences in the comments section, know that your knowledge is helping to construct bridges of understanding. These bridges may just provide the much-needed solution to a struggling student, peace to a troubled parent, or a useful method to a budding teacher. Your contribution is not just valuable, it is crucial. So don't hold back, let your wisdom flow in the comments. Every piece of advice, every shared narrative can potentially be the beacon for someone lost in the dark. Remember to like and share our content, not just to support us, but to help disseminate this shared wisdom further. Remember, together, we can all learn from each other and contribute towards enriching our children's lives. Thank you for joining us on this journey of understanding and growth. Remember, every word has power, and together we can build bridges of empathy and connection. Until next time, take care and keep nurturing those meaningful conversations.